Welcome, coaches, to the Coaching Magic Podcast, where we reveal, discover, and create the insights, tools, and aha moments that make your coaching seem, well, magical. I'm your host, Jill Young, and I invite you to listen up, giddy up, and buckle up as we play with this creative profession of coaching that helps humans become their best, including you. Coaches, today on the podcast, we have Jen Couldrey. Jen is an EOS implementer out of Toronto. And in this episode, Jen introduces us to this phrase. She says she's choosing to live the full human experience. And we really unpack that. If you are the kind of coach who really wants to live the full human experience, here's some really great news for you. The profession of coaching really allows that. It is a beautiful, fertile ground for that, and Jen shares a little bit of how she's doing that. In the episode, we talk about showing up and how we choose to show up. We also talk about overcoming some fears and what I keep calling resistance. And finally, we unpack vulnerability. But Jen really shares some interesting nuggets around sharing it all. This is the element of coaching magic that we play with, where we share it all. So I really invite you to feel this episode, feel the ups, feel the downs. There's an exercise that we do a little bit into the episode where Jen feels into her experience. So I invite you to take some notes, feel into this with us, and enjoy. Walls. So I've got this dark blue behind me. Jen, you've got dark blue behind you at your house. And then you said it makes things pop. Say more about that.
Yes. So I love bold colors. And so I painted my walls in my living room and my dining room dark blue. And so the walls are full of, I just decorated for Christmas. So it's all white and sparkly gold. And I've got some really fun, bright art in there. And I just love it.
It's we're going really deep, really fast, but it reminds me of everything created starts from nothingness. And in my brain, how I interpret nothingness is everything black, just asleep.
Yes.
But all of this aliveness I'm imagining coming on your walls, sparkle and shine. And
I love that. It's funny you say nothingness starts with black. In my mind, nothingness starts with white. So
isn't that crazy? It's probably both.
It is both
Probably
or
both.
either.
You gotta have both. Jen, I have a really curious, fun podcast for us today.
Amazing. I
And
always know it's going to be fun with you, Jill. So I'm very excited.
Well, I do want to let you know that this podcast is going to be all about you.
Boy.
Oh boy. Here's what, as I was preparing for this, I thought Jen Couldrey, and then I just had this beautiful feeling that translated into some really cool words of my experience of you. And I'm going to share my experience of you. And then I'm hoping we dig into some of those because you also have the freedom to say, no, Jill, that is not who I am. You're up a creek.
But I always love, that's how I experience you, Jill, is that you are just such a sparkly mirror for people where you just reflect the best of them back to themselves. So I always appreciate you.
Well, look at that. I'm going to reflect to you and then you reflect to me. What is going on? Thank you, Jen. Thank you. Well, here's what came up to me. There were several words, and then I just took everything into Jen Couldrey. You as a human being, and of course, I know you in the capacity of a coach, an EOS implementer, you show up. You show up. There's a distinction in my mind that I like to play with, and it's the difference between showing up and showing off. And most of the time when I say that, I can tell you're people just feel it. They get it.
Yes.
And in my experience of you is that you show up. You show up you do the work. There's something, and I would love to see if we dig into this today. There's something about you that I experience of you show up. I can sense there's a little bit of apprehension, but then you do it anyway. You have
Mm,
some ability to move through your resistance.
mm,
Where in my work with coaches, there's there's a lot of coaches who have this inability to move through their resistance. And so they work around it or over
mm,
it or ignore it or change it into something. And sometimes
mm,
it surprises them that they have worked through their resistance and they didn't
mm.
even know it. Like it has to be so. But I've heard you tell us stories of like, so this is what I said I was going to do. And then I did it. And then the last piece of this, and we'll play through all of this hopefully today, is that I then experience you share your learnings, you share your
Mm,
vulnerabilities,
mm,
you share your feelings, you share it, and
mm,
other people get to learn from it.
mhm.
Okay, so there's my experience of you. So I would
Thank you, that's
love to
beautiful,
dance
Jill.
through those. How am I doing so far? Is this who you are? Am I seeing you in the way that you have chosen to show up?
Yes, I mean, what came up for me as you were saying that idea of showing up is choosing to live the full human experience, and I think that
Oh.
that is definitely what I have signed up for. Um, I love that what I heard. I've been thinking a lot about discipline lately, Jill, and I've just hired a coach to help me up my game around discipline and reflecting that there's some areas of my life where I feel so disciplined and so proud of the way that I have decided to do this thing or be this way and made that transformation. And other ways that I have observed the way that I'm showing up is not the way I want to be, but I have yet to figure out how to make that transformation. So sometimes I see myself as very disciplined, and sometimes I see myself as lacking discipline.
Oh my goodness. Choosing Okay, we gotta dig into both of those because those are so much fun. Choosing to live the full human experience.
Mm,
And maybe let's unpack that for a little bit.
mm,
Because I do know there are some people who come to us for coaching and they're like, I want to live that human experience.
mm,
I want to
mm.
live the success human
Right.
experience, the profitable human experience. And then it's like, okay, let's try to do that. But I found like we are never exonerated. I think this is Phil Stutz, really great coach. He
Mm.
wrote the book called The Tools. He said we are never exonerated from pain, uncertainty, and doubt.
Oh.
Never exonerated. So living the full human experience,
Mm.
I'm like, let that unfold a little bit. What does that mean to you?
I mean, what came up for me when you said that was I remember being at a QCE a little while ago, a virtual one, and Sue Hawks was in our room. And I think I just come off of a really rough quarter, which is also when I was working with you in the spring, Jill. Really tough season for me. And I remember we were sharing in the room, and Sue said, "There's no such thing as made it." There's
Hmm.
no like, and it was hard then, and then I figured it out, and now everything is good, and I always achieve my goals, and I am full of infinite wisdom, and I know how to do everything, and I never doubt myself anymore. And it was like a breath of fresh air to be like, oh, right, this is it. Like this is the journey. And there's ups and there's downs. And in 3 years from now, there will still be downs. And it's that is it. And just accepting that and being okay with that is what I think makes you able to enjoy the journey a little bit more.
Yes. Yes, it is all about the journey, and it's the downs, 'cause and maybe we can go into this, but it's we have ups and downs, and if I look back in my time where I've labeled that a down, like that was hard,
Mhm.
well, now, right here in this moment, I look back at those and go, "Oh, but that was all of the fuel that brought me
Right.
to my highest highs."
Yes.
So I don't want
Yes.
to live if I have my life to live over again, do I just wanna go, "Oh, I'm just gonna paint this life of no downs." No, because
Right.
then my highs would actually be fucking boring.
Well, they'd be
So
boring and you
boring.
take them for granted.
Yeah,
And you
maybe.
wouldn't actually be able to get there because you would never develop the skills and the character that you develop in the downs that are what
Mm.
enables you to get back up to
Mm.
the highs.
So I'm wondering if you might be able to you said in the spring, a season when it was down, can
Mhm.
you like pull a few threads and maybe share that with our audience like, okay, I was down, but I don't want to exchange that part because now I have this, or I am being this, something that you
Yeah.
learned or expanded into.
So I'm gonna tell a story. I think he'd be okay if I shared his name. What someone said to me is that are we good with that if I share a specific
Look,
name of
I'm
story
fine with
someone
it. We know, and
okay,
we could edit this if you called
okay.
him and said, "Oh, I can't," and then we
I
could
think
edit.
he'd
But
be fine with it. So
okay.
I think I am humbly confident. I think I very much live that value.
Mhm.
Sometimes I'm actually too humble, I think, and not confident enough. But in the spring, when I was having a hard time, I posted on Slack about some of the challenges
Mhm.
I was facing, and Barry Barrett called me. Very generously called me to support me in my moment of need. And he said to me, he's like, Jen, I'm gonna say something that's gonna sound sexist. I'm like, oh boy, where are we going with this? And he said, I think women are at a real disadvantage when it comes to business development because men have been they were told to be hunters and they've been rejected their whole life. So they've gotten very used to being rejection. So they're more comfortable putting themselves out there for sales. Girls, when they're growing up, are told, oh, sit back, let them come to you, be hard to get. So we're not used to going out and fighting for things and getting rejected. So we have less practice, less at bats being rejected, and therefore can be less comfortable with sales. I'm curious what's
Wow.
coming up for you there.
Wow. I've just never experienced that way of that. That could be one social story that
Yes.
we have been programmed with or received or
Yes. And obviously,
welcomed into our story.
and
Wow.
everyone lives their own unique life and has their different
Yeah.
experience with that. But anyways, that resonated with me for sure. That I said, yes, I have not been in, had to face rejection consistently in my life. So I am uncomfortable with rejection and that holds me back from being
Mhm,
great at sales, if you want to call it that.
mhm,
Um, anyways, so uh, as I reflected in where my clients had come from previously, I really felt like most of them had come to me, right? People had sent, I
mm,
think Jill, you sent people to me. People
mhm,
had come to me, and I was like, I don't think I've ever really learned how to articulate and communicate how I can help without somebody coming to the table saying, I know what this is and I want this. So I felt like this spring, I did the outgrow program and I
mm,
got over my fears and I picked up the phone and I called people and I was so uncomfortable with it. But, I did it enough times that I was doing my 25 calls a week.
mhm,
And one person, when I picked up the phone, they said, Jen, do you know how much it means to me that you keep calling me, that you keep staying in touch? It shows me how much you care about me. So it was through that comment from Barry that, you're not bad at it. It's just a thing you haven't learned yet. And reflecting that I hadn't had enough at bats. And then the reflection of someone saying to me that, like, truly this is landing with me, that you care about me, not that you're trying to
mhm,
sell me something. Uh,
mhm,
really just, I feel like I'm so much more competent and confident and capable
mm.
in a business development capacity and many other capacities because I went through that experience, and I never would have had that had I just kept getting people coming to me.
Oh my gosh, that I can feel it right now.
Mm.
Capable, confident. I can feel it. That you just are. And in coordination with that is I do feel like you do genuinely care.
Mm.
This
Mhm.
is this is
Mhm.
my always been my experience of you that you do care. You and I have had the chance to reflect on some of your client situations, client.
Mhm.
So I do know how much you care and how much you stay in the game. You
Mhm.
show up for your
Mm.
clients, so there's
Mhm.
never a doubt that you care. And yet there was this resistance in you use this formula of 25 calls per week. When
Mhm.
I was taught coaching, the way I was taught it was you fill your calendar with
Mhm.
serving conversations,
Mm. I love that
serving
framing.
curious conversations. So how
Mhm.
many, the number didn't matter, but it was like the feel like, am I here to be a loving, attuned human
Mm,
being for you
mhm.
to talk to.
Yes.
And that is how we built that's how I built my practice. That's how you
Yeah.
built your practice.
Mhm.
But this resistance, you said I got over my fear and I made the 25 calls.
Mm.
Let's dig into that part. This getting over a fear. I mean, I've seen people work in, therapy for 10 years to get over the fear.
Yes.
Or sometimes it just shifts. So, can you maybe share with us where that shift was for you?
Oh, great question, Jill. I think um I am very motivated by feeling like I'm on the brink of failure. And so
Right.
when I feel like I'm coming to that edge of like, oh, I don't know if this is going to work out for me,
Mhm.
it's sort of a Hail Mary. If I'm going down, I'm going down knowing I did everything I possibly could to make this work.
Mhm.
And so
Mhm.
one of the things I haven't tried that other people have said have worked for them, and let's just get in and do it. And I'm a high fact finder, an 8 fact finder. So, I go all in and I do the research and I show up to the calls and I read
Good.
the book and I talk to people. And then I say, okay, now it's time to go. Just make your list and pick up the phone and call. Um, that's how I work through it. And that's what
Yeah,
gave me the confidence to,
it
to do it. It was
it
sorry.
feels very disciplined to me. So when you're like, "I'm
Mhm.
disciplined to some things," it feels very disciplined to me. In Colby, when we learn about the Colby assessment, sometimes I've heard Kathy Colby. She would say, "Act before you think."
Mm. Mhm.
And there's a couple of visionaries I'm working with right now that they are when they see a new possibility, they will unwind themselves from it. They'll think themselves out
Mm.
of trying it. It's like that idea came to you for something. How about we act before we think?
Mm.
And that's what I saw. You said just I did all the learning, but when it
Yes.
came time to make a decision, am I going to really I learned all of the system, but am I really gonna do it? I sensed there was that shift in there. It's like, make the calls, just do it.
Yeah.
And Nike, just
Mm.
do it. There's
Just
something
do it. Just do it.
there's there's a podcast I listened to. It was on the Oprah podcast, and now I wish I knew who um the person was. Maybe it wasn't on the Oprah. No, it wasn't on the Oprah podcast. It was on Diary of a CEO. But she's talking about how our bodies will prepare for an action before we've even thought the thought because it's a
Oh,
different kind of thinking. It's so cool, but I could just see like you were learning it. It was like I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this and maybe let that biology just move you through
yeah. Oh, that's so
before you put in a pause and say, "Oh, should I really do this?" Man,
yeah.
you stop to second guess yourself, and there's a whole lot of second guessing that can go on there.
Yes, absolutely. I'm also it's I think sometimes we or I learn and then I don't apply. And that's very painful
Mm.
because then you're like, well, what was the value in that? Here, here's an example of that in action, Jill. So I hosted a baby shower for my best friend yesterday. She's having her first baby.
How fun.
And my gift to her was Jen's guide for labor, delivery, and infant care. And I said, when I was having my first baby, I read, all the books, I listened to podcasts, I went to courses, but then I felt like a waste to not capture this knowledge. So I prepared a 6-page summary of what you need to know. How many times a day should your baby poop in its first 48 hours of life? Here's some techniques
Love
to try for pain management during labor, right? All this stuff. And I was like, here, this is my gift to you because this is what I do. I take all the knowledge, I summarize it, capture it, and go forth.
Oh my goodness. Now, I have a question for you. That 6 pages right there,
Yeah.
number 1, everyone is gonna want that. So, you can just put the PDF on your website, everyone's gonna I know, like, 4 brand new moms that are like, "Oh, yeah, I want the Jen Couldrey simplification of that." Um, you said, we learn a lot, but sometimes we don't apply it.
Mhm.
Like, is this did you do it? Like, did you find these 6 pages? Like, is this really what worked? Or is it just what you learned?
Yeah, great question. So I knew if I didn't capture it, I would lose it. But I went back and refreshed it after I did have my baby, and when I was preparing to have my second, and I even looked through it now, and I was like, oh, this is good. So I think I edited it and refined it based on lived
Yeah.
experience. But I think I for me, you know, I loved your going through coaching magic with you so much, Jill, and that being able to dance in the moment comes from being very well prepared, right? So did I follow the script step by step? Absolutely not. But did I have in the back of my mind, here are 10 things I could do to help myself through this journey? Yes. And
Mhm.
because I had those, I felt I was able to be calm and I was able to be present because I wasn't, oh my God, someone get me an epidural. I was able, I knew I had other tools to tap into, right?
Yes. I love that you brought up the agendaless coaching magic agenda and correlate it to childbirth. Perfect. Uh, uh, Me too. I have a similar story where I was planning on just having there is no normal childbirth, but I was planning on having the same childbirth as I had with my first one,
Hmm.
which was numb me out, put me to
Yeah,
sleep, and I'll wake up with a baby in my arms.
right.
And it didn't happen that way.
Mm.
It was
Never goes to plan, right?
it was very quick. There was no
Mm,
time for any
mm.
pain medication. But what I had done, and I love that I've left breadcrumbs for myself, this whole pregnancy, I had read stories about natural childbirth.
Yes.
Stories. So
Mhm.
in that moment, when the nurse is like, we don't have time for medication, I'm like, well, I am actually prepared.
Yeah.
I was prepared because I'd read all those stories. So different way to prepare.
Yes, yes. But I think that's,
Uh,
childbirth is a great, a very extreme example, but this is life, right? We can build whatever plans we want. Life is gonna throw at us, whatever it will throw at us. But the more prepared we are, the more I just think there's so much power in having visibility to different options and paths that are open to you, because then when something doesn't go plan A, it's not the end of the world. It's okay,
right.
that one didn't work out. I can mourn that, but I am aware that there are 26 other ways this could go, and I'm okay with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. And we celebrate it. That's our if we got to like the core of what is a coach's job,
Mm,
it could be to help people live the full human experience.
mm,
And then one of those ingredients is help people see all of the possibilities
mhm, mhm.
of the full human experience.
Yes.
And I love how you being this disciplined person, it's such a fun paradox. Sometimes people say discipline and they put it in a tight little box.
Right.
This
Yes.
is what discipline looks like.
Yes.
And it is not what discipline looks like.
No.
I'm working right now with a woman who she said, only the disciplined are free. I'm not disciplined. So should I just give up? Which is
Well,
funny, but it's discipline to what? And how about we say discipline to feeling lovely,
mm,
discipline to living a life of ease, discipline
mm,
to creativity, discipline to your strengths is
mm.
what we're really playing with too. But it's opening up this box of this is how my childbirth is going to go. This
Yeah.
is a plan. This is how my plan is going to go to
Yes.
lots of possibilities.
Yes.
So many possibilities.
That's beautiful. I love that idea of expanding the definition for what it means to be
Mm.
disciplined. I forget if I already mentioned this, but I hired a coach recently. So I did say this. We've been talking a lot
Yep,
about
that's
discipline.
right.
Um, and I actually brought it into a session last week. So I had, think of different gifts to give my clients each year. And with this team, I got them really beautiful custom water bottles. So they're like engraved with their names, their
Ooh.
Awala, the hot new water bottle,
Mhm.
white, beautiful. But I had this flash of inspiration a little bit beforehand because my coach was talking to me about mantras and the power of mantras.
Mm,
And I'd come up with this idea of my mantra is I am in control. That
mm,
things don't just happen. If things are not going the way I want them to, I can shift this. I can make this happen. So this became powerful for me. So I invited my teams throughout the time at our annual to keep their water bottle in front of them and to assign it a mantra so that whenever they look at it throughout their day, it's this coming back to this is the way I want to show up in my life, and tying this back around, being disciplined to believing I am enough, to believing I am in control, to believing whatever it is, that message they needed to take with them. I love that, tying that to the discipline piece.
Oh, perfect. This is what I choose. I am in control. This is how I choose to be disciplined.
Yes.
This is how I choose to show up.
Yes.
So much of coaching is helping people be their best,
Mhm.
helping people become their best. And I love to really like, whenever I'm teaching that, I'm like, circle the word there. Helping
Mm.
people become their best. Circle
Yes.
that word. It's there. So what are they creating for themselves? The
Yes.
life, the full human experience that
Yes.
they are creating.
Yes.
Oh, Jen, I can just feel how lovely that is right in the room. People getting that. Um, it felt very permission and
Mm.
invitation to me.
Mhm.
That invitation, assign that water bottle a mantra. This is how you choose to show up. How
Yeah.
lovely. How
Well,
lovely.
it all came, everything shows up in our life for a reason at a certain time, but I loved so much. I went to QCE 2 weeks ago, and Jim Coyle, I knew this was at
Yes.
all them. His message at the beginning around intentionality and being so intentional with your time, with your choices, and the way you're showing up, and that invitation to craft the life you want and don't just let life happen to you. That
Mm,
resonates with me so
mm.
much.
Yes, things show up right when we need them, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Including people and books and coaches, and it just is. I've also been playing with the word with my coach, okay? Because coaches, listen to what Jen and I are both saying. We both have coaches,
I have
okay?
two, Jen. I
Coaches.
just hired two.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah, me too. It's like, oh boy. Uh if we I'm taking a tiny bit of a sidebar. One of the things that I heard from a coach once is that if coaches don't have coaches, we work out our own shit on
Mm,
our clients.
mm.
And
Yes.
that was
Yes.
that was like the that was like this side of the integer scale of like, oh my gosh. And then what I've also found is as I work with my coach and something is unfolding for me, lo and behold, someone's working with me as their coach,
Mm.
and they are asking for the same unfolding that I just received.
Yes.
It's like, how that is so cool. Like a word I've just been introduced to is now useful just a day later. So
Yes.
it's it all works together. Just like the right Jim Coyle said, intentionality. And now we're using it right here.
Yes. Yes. It's so powerful being on the other on the receiving end of
Mm,
coaching, right? There's
mhm.
I feel like there's two parts of my brain working in this, the one being coached and the coach learning from a master coach,
Yes.
around what the way that he is asking questions and what he is saying that
Mm,
are showing me a different way that I can be with my clients, and what makes things land in a
yes.
way that's different from how I've been doing it.
Yes. It's coaching is and I wonder if this is another reason why coaches need coaches to be a really great coach.
Mhm.
Is for me, I found that coaching is a somatic experience, like, of the
Mm,
body,
mm.
and I can witness my coaches in a different way than is like, "What's the word she just said?" And where I just write down the sentence, like, "Oh, I could ask my clients that question." It's not that.
No,
It
no.
it's the how she's looking at me and her it was like it's a
Mm.
feeling. Like,
Yes.
there we go. And I learn I like learn the feeling. And then when I can
Yes.
when I can get in that same feeling with my clients, I'm like,
Mm.
"Oh, we're here now. Like something's landing."
Yes.
Because I felt it when that happened. I don't even know if I'm explaining that well.
I know, Joe, what just came out for me there is that to me is like coaching I don't know if it's 2.0 or 3.0 or later on, like, coaching 1.0 is all in your head, right? It's, "What's the
Oh,
question I'm gonna ask? What's the structure? What's the agenda?" Coaching 2.0 is, like, knowing that content so well you don't have to think about it and
um,
tuning into the body, the intuition, and going there,
yes.
letting that lead instead of the
I love how
structure lead.
you just simplified that for me into like a couple of simple little layers. It's really what I've discovered coaching magic is all about.
Mhm,
And it
uh-huh.
that might be funny to hear me say that because it's like, don't you know what coaching magic is all about? Well, kind of, except kind of. And I'm also every time we open up a new round of the school, which we only
Mhm,
do them fall and spring,
mhm.
I say to the new students in the class, I'm also enrolled because I
Yes.
learn more every single time. And now that is what it's like, now I'm on. Okay, I'm on to you, coaching magic. I think this is what you were always intended to be is give that 2.0 experience of this is, this is what we do. We help people live the full human experience.
Yes. Yes,
Full human
absolutely.
experience. Jen, there's another topic I would love to explore.
Yes.
We have been all over the board, which is lovely because in coaching magic we say there are no detours. It's all allowed, right? Everything is allowed. There
Yep.
are no detours. But I'd also like to explore, we talked about how you show up in, in your discipline.
Mm,
Um, we talked about the resistance, like how you
mhm,
move through that.
mhm,
There's also this really lovely part of you where you share it.
mm,
You are a share it all coach.
mhm,
I have experienced you to ask questions of other
mm,
experienced coaches, right? You've reached out to me before. I've experienced you sharing your wins and like your joys, like, hey, this
mhm,
is what's working for me.
mhm.
I've also experienced you sharing your like, oh shit, I am in the, a low part right now.
Yep.
Where does that come from?
Mm.
If coaches out there are thinking, oh, yes, I get it. Jill is saying, share it all, be vulnerable, share your stories. This is how we grow as coaches. What is it inside the Gen magic that allows that, invites that? How do you do that?
That's such a great question, Jill, and, the first thing that comes up for me is this is not I don't know that it's intentional, that's just, like, who
Mhm,
I am, so I'm having
mhm,
to really think to unpack what that is because that's just I'm a sharer, and
mm.
sometimes, to a fault that I talk too much. Um, that's just, like, how I connect with humans,
Okay.
and I just feel this what's been fun for me is I'm a very, like, I like to be prepared, QCE, I'm, like, doing my clarity break, I'm
Yeah.
prepping, but so often I'm like, "I don't have any issues, I don't have any nuggets," but in the moment, I'm like, "Oh, I have an amazing nugget." So this, like, letting go of needing to be prepared and going with what's coming up for me has been a cool shift for me to see.
Mm.
Um, but what is behind the sharing? Mhm. Can you ask me other questions around that to see
Mhm.
if we can
Sure.
unpack
That's
it?
lovely. When you and maybe let's if you want to, we'll just try a little practice.
Okay.
It's like think about that drive, okay, that urge
Mhm,
of let's just maybe put it in, I'm going to ask a question on Slack or
mhm,
I'm going to share an experience on Slack. So go right back to that moment. I feel the urge, I'm moving, slow that whole experience
mm,
down
mm.
and what's going on? Like what part of that human experience are you feeling?
I think I just see it as such a gift to have community,
Hmm.
and I just really fundamentally believe that I there's no reason to ever figure something out on your own when there's
Hmm.
especially in EOS, there's 800 people who have
Yeah.
already been there, done that, figured it out. Um, and I know I get so much value in, like, you've talked, coaching magic. could only ever be a group experience
Yep.
because it's
Yep.
not about the one-on-one conversation.
That's right.
You learn the most from hearing other people share their ahas. Um, and I just really believe that. And I really believe that like true human connection only comes from vulnerability. Um, and the way I'm wired makes me really comfortable with sharing probably too much. So I feel like, well, maybe that's my contribution is to share a little bit too
Ah.
vulnerably to invite other
Oh.
people to also feel comfortable sharing
I love
vulnerably.
this. I love that. Like there's two really good nuggets right here. So for people who are not maybe wired the way Jen is, this vulnerability I'm going to share, and she shares her wins and her losses. And
Mhm.
I have never experienced you sharing like, oh, there's Jen again. Like you have this way
Thank
of
you.
doing it in such a lovely way. So that's also part. But there's two things in here. Number one, I wrote down you go there to receive your gifts. You
Mm.
said,
Mm.
this is a
Mm.
you see where the gold is and you just go to do the gold mining."
Mhm.
And then also you're saying, "This is where I go to receive my gifts, but this is also where I go to contribute."
Mm. Mhm.
And there could be something in there for other coaches listening. Like, are you tapping into the universal love, universal spirit, universal creativity? We have Jen and I are both in the EOS community, so we have this rich, uh, built-in treasure trove of knowledge. And yet, Jen, there are people in our community who never tap in. They
Yeah.
know they have it. They know they have it, but they never tap in. So maybe this is an invitation. Like tap
Yes.
in. It's lovely.
Well, and I think I've become more and more comfortable over time doing it because I consistently get rewarded for doing so. So I'll give
There
you
you
2
go.
examples around that. So, both like LinkedIn posts I shared recently. So one was in I have so a big part of my identity and what a lot of people know me about is being a mom, right? I talk
Yes.
about being a
I
mom a
love that.
lot.
I love that.
And I'm sure some people are like, "Oh, there's Jen talking about being a mom again." But so, like, I genuinely get people, men and women included, coming up to me at QCE saying, like, "I love you. Thank you so much for showing up, bringing that perspective to our community because so many of us are having that experience." Um, anyway,
Hey,
so I talk
Jen,
about it.
can I
Yes.
time out?
Yes.
I heard you say something and I just have a question about it. And I want you to finish your story eventually.
Uh,
But you said, I'm sure there's some people who say, oh, there's Jen going off on her motherhood stuff again.
yeah.
I'm wondering, has there ever been one person in your life that has said that?
No, I think I have this, like, deep-seated I don't know if it's a fear, but maybe it's a fear or worry that people will think, like, "Oh, she's not professional enough. She's not, enough of a business person. Like, she's a mom too."
Hmm.
I love that.
Right. I am right. I am not enough of a robot. Like, who wants a robot these days?
Yeah. No,
Who
you're
in the
you're right.
world?
You're totally right. You're totally right.
And it's
So that's
actually you that's right. It's not me, but I was just wondering if anyone had
no,
ever said that to you. I've
no,
only
no.
and me too, I have said that before in my life, and now I have
Mhm.
only found benefit from
Yes.
my parenting skills and growing up in a business of childcare center where I learned to please both the parents and the children, and, like, I've only found benefit. So keep going with your story, but I was just wondering, who do I need to beat up because they
Yes.
said, "There goes Jen with her."
You're so right. I love that you called me out on that. Um, so anyway, so I had been working on this speaking opportunity for a long time and it fell through and it actually went to a colleague of mine. And at first I was like very angry and very frustrated, but then I asked myself the question, what does this open up for me? Right? I have this day that I'd blocked
Mhm,
for this thing.
mhm.
What does this open up for me? And I thought, you know what? I've been wanting to take my son to Wonderland. It's like our local theme park. So I took him to Wonderland and I posted and I told this story on social media. Well, of course, this blew up. And I got a client from it, Jill. I had a client who, when I asked them what made them reach out to me, she said, well, I'd like heard about EOS and I was checking your profile and I saw this post and it just resonated with me so much. And I knew you were the kind of person I wanted to work with. So this is what I say when I say I get rewarded for being vulnerable.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
this works. Showing up as myself
That's right.
attracts the right kind of people to me.
That is right. And coaches, if you're sitting here thinking to yourself, "Well, that's fine because Jen is naturally vulnerable, so she's gonna get rewarded for it," or "Jill is naturally vulnerable, so she's gonna get," but not me. What I encourage you to do is test it versus trust it. So
Mm,
you could trust Jill and Jen, but it's like, no, it's not Jill and Jen that are saying it. It's go test it for yourself and go into the mindset, just an invitation of, I wonder what could be possible for me if I share my whole heart,
mm,
if I show up as a loving, caring human being
mhm,
who is willing to sit with another human being or team and listen to them. What could be possible for me? And it's just take a tiny step into it.
yeah.
This is what Jen's saying. She's getting. She has evidence. This is how I will say too. I have evidence. Um, just last night. My God, just last night. Um, I get a voice memo. You know how you can send those via text.
Mhm.
I get a voicemail
I
from,
love me a voice memo, Jill.
you know,
I'm
I
very
love
big
the
into
voice.
voice
It's
memos.
so great. You can feel things in it. And he said, "Hey, I just wanted to let you know that I was doing this top 5 exercise with my partner of like top 5 impactful moments." And he goes, "We were kind of getting to like number 4 and 5, you know, not like 1, 2, and 3, 4 and 5." He said, "In this experience that I had with you for an hour and a half 2 years ago
Whoa,
popped up into my awareness." And I'm
whoa,
like, "Are you kidding?" So we get evidence.
wow.
Coaches, watch for evidence that, and it's all around you if you look for it.
Mhm,
Just evidence that the work you're doing to show up, the work you're doing to be vulnerable, the work you're doing to
mm.
show up as a loving coach, it's all around you. And there's probably more if you're open to possibilities and looking for it.
Yes, and you're so right, Jill. It's what you're looking for that you will see evidence of.
Yes. You know, we love to play with magic and coaching magic. It's right in the
Mhm.
name. And one of my favorite phrases is, we can choose to see the world as if everything is magic or as if nothing is magic. But we're free to choose. What did you say? You said you're in control. And I like to look at the world as everything is magic. It's a lot more fun that way.
Yes, because what do they say? I'd rather be wrong and have lived my life seeing magic in everything than be right that there was no magic anywhere.
Oh, beautiful. I love that. I'm adding that. I am adding that. Thank you, Jen.
Oh, you're welcome,
Oh my
Jill.
goodness. Jen, this has been such a fun episode of showing up, of moving through the resistance and the fear, being vulnerable, sharing it all. And now I'm wondering if you'd like to play a game.
I would love to play a game with you, Jill. I love games.
We love games. Okay, here's the game. This is currently my favorite card deck, Sweet Ass Affirmations 2.
Okay.
I'm going to shuffle the deck.
All I saw, speaking of, looking for things, all I saw in there was the word magical.
Motivation for your creative, magical mind. That's all she saw was the word in the subscript. That is beautiful. You know, when you're looking for magic, you're going to find it,
Exactly.
even if it's just the word. Oh my gosh, Jen, you're the best. Okay, here's how the game goes. I'm going to shuffle the deck and then I'm going to
Okay.
choose a card and I'll show it
Okay.
to both of us. And
Okay.
then each one of us is going to share what's coming up for us with
Mm.
this card.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay,
Let's do
and
it.
then you get to decide, because I'm picking the card, you get to decide who goes first.
Oh,
Are you
okay.
ready?
All right. I'm ready.
Oh my gosh, this is really interesting. Here we go. I consciously connect with my meals one bite at a time.
Ooh.
Avocado, orange juice, and an orange.
I'm such a word person. I didn't even look at the picture.
And so interesting. I'm just looking at the picture. I consciously connect with my meals one bite at a time.
All right. I'm going to invite you to go first. I need a minute with this one.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to take this a little bit of a different this went a little bit of a different place for me. So
Mhm.
I'm not going to talk about food like from the earth.
Mm.
I'm going to talk about a meal as in what I'm digesting.
Mm.
This is what's
I love
coming to
that.
me. And a big part of my life is I am expansively creative. So I've got art going on, I've got cards I'm creating, I have my individual coaching, I've got coaching magic, I've got EOS, I do workshops, I do this. I have expansive relationships, all of
Mhm.
this. But what I've been playing with is for the last probably 3 or 4 years is just being very present,
Mm.
being very, very present in the moment I'm in now,
Mm.
and I trust that magic
Mhm.
to help me, like, something comes through me just for that moment.
Mm.
And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take eating
Mhm.
food as another chance to practice being present.
I love that. I love that.
That's
I translated what you said there, um, one bite at a like, I'm conscious about what
Mm.
I'm taking in. I was thinking about that in terms of, like, social media and books and, like,
Oh.
I'm conscious about what I'm allowing into my body, into my energy.
Ooh. Ooh, I like that one too. Just it's consciously connect one bite at a time. Is this a conscious choice?
Mm, yes.
With social media, I'm opening Instagram. This is a conscious choice. Can I connect with this? Is it
Yes.
nourishing me? Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
Yes. And this,
Huh?
I was just, I was out for a walk and it's a beautiful day here. It's, very cold and wintry, but blue skies and sunshine. So like I'm very, very happy to be going outside for a walk and not doing my calls on the
Yeah.
phone. And I was drawn back to I did the PQ,
Yes.
what's
Positive
it called?
intelligence.
Positive intelligence. Yes, I did that a year or two
Resolve.
ago. And
Uh-huh.
I
Me
remember
too.
during that time going for walks and there was those like I forget what they called them, like walking meditations. And it was
Mhm.
like, look at the sky for 30 seconds and just like obsess over the blueness of the
Mm.
sky. And then just be present to how your feet feel in your shoes. And so that's what I was thinking about that as I was going for my walk earlier. So that's what came up as you read that is like just be so present and tuned into your senses as you consume your life to be not on autopilot, but be like
Mm.
aware and intentional about what you're doing.
Consciously connect
Mhm.
one bite at a time, one step at a time,
Yeah. One
one
post.
one view of the sky at a time. I love that.
Exactly. Exactly.
What a fun way to end the episode with a
Perfect.
really interesting card that we twisted lots of different ways. Perfect. See,
Yes. Like that
possibility.
conscious, it brought it back to the intentionality we were talking about earlier. It all came back together,
It all came back together, living that
as it always
full
does.
human experience. Jen, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and love with the Coaching Magic podcast. I know it's helping, it's nourishing.
Mhm.
Hey, it's nourishing lots of other coaches, and it was just such a blessing to have you on. Thank you.
My pleasure, Jill. It's I always, as we started talking earlier today and I was thinking about my coach and how he affirms me, I was thinking about how I can like remember multiple conversations we've had and exactly what you said and exactly how you showed up for me because I think you are very intentional. As I said, you're that sparkly mirror for people, like showing them the best of themselves. And so I just wanted to offer that as my final reflection to you is that
Mhm.
you really make an impact with people because you are so present with them. And I think you look for ways to lift them up. And I appreciate that about you.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. What a beautiful reflection this is the way that I choose to show up. So
Yes.
thank you. I'm
I'm
like,
sure you're
"Oh my
very
god,
intentional about that, Jill.
there's more evidence. It's working. I'm doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it." Thank you.
All
Thank
right. Thank
you.
you so much for having me, Jill. This was super fun
Awesome.
as always.
Love you so much.
Love to you, Jill.
Today's episode is brought to you by one of my favorite books and Jen's favorite books, Positive Intelligence by Shirzad Shamin. Now, in this book, it gives us and both our clients a very simple, practical, space learning approach to help us regulate those emotions, come back into center, and know ourselves even just a little bit better. And if you would like to geek out on these things, on this book, other nerdy things around coaching, please join us at coachingmagic.com. This is where you can find out all of the information about the schools that we run, the live events that we run, and also if you feel like there might be another coach in your life that would appreciate listening to this podcast, I would personally enjoy it and be so grateful if you would share the podcast with other coaches. Thank you for playing with me today in the land of coaching magic. If you want more magic, I invite you to explore www.jillyoung.com. This is where you can see all the shenanigans I've created for you to expand your world of coaching. See you there. And remember, you are magic.